Okay, I'm still muted. Hello, my name is still Evgeny Frolov, and I'm happy to welcome you back on our stage. So today we have the day 4 of our Startup Week Moldova, and now we have a very interesting topic. I would like to address to the most intensive and the biggest market, China, from my point of view. And we all know that it's totally different world, and all big companies and so all reasonable startups try to make business there, but only a few of them succeed. And today we are lucky enough to have as a speaker the guy who is not from China but had a chance to enter the market and to make it successfully. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to present you Simon Zagaynov, a co-founder of two startups. In 2018, he was included in the top 30 under 30 of Forbes China, among the most promising young entrepreneurs in the field of marketing. Hi, Simon. Hi, how are you?
Hello, Evgeny. Hi, good. Thank you. It's
what's time? It's in China. Where are you actually? In what city?
I'm based in Shanghai, and it's 6 something, like 6:25 right now.
Okay. So, Simon, we have a special rubric, so called "Our Subscribers Are Wondering," and our subscribers are wondering if you managed to try a cockroach dishes.
No, I haven't yet.
Why?
Why? Actually, I have never seen any cockroaches dishes on the street. Maybe like it's on the south of China, but I haven't tried. But the most interesting thing I've tried in the Chinese cuisine, it was the frozen blood, like a duck blood, something like that. When you're eating like the soup and you have this frozen like jelly, I don't know how it's called, like of duck blood. That was crazy for me.
I see. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this interesting insight. So I leave the floor for you. I will stay here so that we can try to make some kind of conversation. But
yeah,
so
sure.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, hi everybody. Hope all you stay safe during these not easy times. My name is Simon. I've been living in China for almost like 5 years, and our company ExpoPromoter entered the market in 2015. So what do we do? ExpoPromoter can distribute tickets to the Chinese trade shows globally. So if you are planning to, like this pitch worked in 2019. Right now there is a lockdown and it's very hard to enter Chinese market especially for the trade shows. So what we were doing and what was our idea in 2015? This company was founded by Hennady Nityaha, an entrepreneur from Ukraine, and ExpoPromoter used to work on the Russian and Ukrainian markets, and then we understood like it's better to go and try to take a maybe small piece, or if it's better a big piece of our big markets. We did pre-sales in the US and did pre-sales in China, and understood that the Chinese trade show organizers are more opened for the innovations, for the new technologies. And then we decided to choose China and to enter this market. The idea was like when you were entering the market is like when you have the trade shows in China, and all of them speak Chinese, and maybe like few websites has an English version. Or even if you have this English version, there's a like in very, very Chinese design, and it's very slow opening. And if you call the organizer for getting some details, they barely can speak any English. It's mostly in Chinese. So what idea was to bring in, helping them to bring visitors, exhibitors from other countries, and everything is done digitally, online. That was in 2015 when we entered the market. It was just a pure sales meeting with the organizers, pitching them the idea. and then we start getting traction. And one of the things like that helped us is to, when we understood that there's a, let's say, product market fit, that there are clients that need our service, then we opened the company. And after we opened the local entity, our sales grew exponentially, because this is some of the maybe my pieces of advice, that if you want to successfully enter Chinese market, you need to have local entity here. After you understood that the first of all, you need to understand that there is a need in your product, and then because local companies, they like to do the according to the financial logistics, they like to do the business with the local companies. And when we opened the local company, of course, it helped us to generate more clients. Then in 2017, we got entered into Chinaccelerator. Chinaccelerator is kind of a popular accelerator. They are in the group of SOSV, and SOSV last year was the most active accelerator in the world. Even more than they if I'm not mistaken, they've been more active than Y Combinator. And we were the first, let's say, because I'm Russian, and our company, like a founder from Ukraine, so we kind of like a Ukraine-Russian company working together on the Chinese market. And we were the first Slavic company join the Chinaccelerator. Then we understood that there is a need for local visitors. They have the same problems for like getting getting tickets to the trade shows. And then we started doing both. Not only foreigners come to Chinese trade shows, but also Chinese going to Chinese trade show. We kind of like, for better understanding, we like a booking.com, but for the trade show industry. In 2020, we wanted to go globally into different markets, like expand in Asia, but it's very hard right now, because also trade show industry, event industry been hit hard by the lockdown. And so we decided to stay alive during this not easy times. It's been a rough time. I've made a full circle from starting drinking a lot and then to meditating and then working on the business needs, because you have so many emotions, how to control the company. So we survived and everything is cool. And I think there are a lot of things I can talk about, like how to manage Chinese employees, how to make the sales, B2B sales, marketing. But I think maybe it's better if you ask the questions and I will answer them.
We can try like that, but so I'm not sure how active our attendees will be. Nevertheless, I'm wondering, does Chinese government somehow helped supported entrepreneurs' business during this pandemic? I believe it was total lockdown during 2 months. Yes, 90 days. At the beginning of the year.
I still remember what happened, and it's actually helped. So the lockdown in China wasn't that long as I see in other countries. I came back, so it started in January, but then we understood that everything is serious in the end of January, and it was February. And then in March, I came back because I was traveling that time when it all started. I was actually in Ukraine. Then I waited in Kazakhstan for a few months, and then I came back to China on March, and then we couldn't enter our office, so it wasn't allowed for anybody visiting offices. We used to work from home, but you need to pay for the rent, right? Your income decreases, but still nobody stopped asking you for the office rent. And I remember actually it's also was the people communication, and our office manager here, even I know that some government let's go if there is this company like a co-working space, if it's like a government co-working space, then like they couldn't, like they were allowed not to pay maybe for 2 or 3 months rent. But our like working space here, as we have the office, it's their private owned, and the government is like the private control, something like that. And I know that the government didn't give them the discount, but they gave us. And then like we didn't pay like rent for 1 month, and they said like, we understand like your industry is hit hard, like we can understand, but we want you to be. And there's interesting thing they did. They said, okay, don't pay us 1 month, and then we will give you the like a discount for 2 another months, but you will sign contract with us for 6 more months. So actually, then maybe it's like kind of a Chinese way, you know. Yeah, I'm giving you a discount right now for these 3 months, but you will sign a contract with me, and you will guarantee that after that you will stay 6 months more with me. And for that, and that time for me, you're like, yeah, sure, yeah, great. And yeah, we will stay here till June 2021 for sure. Yeah, that was how. And then I remember for taxes, because taxes are like a salary taxes are also huge in China, and the government, like maybe like 2 months, we paid the minimal. We were not paying like the highest. We were paying the minimal thing, and it helped us also a lot, because the first 2 months after everything stopped for us was crucial.
I see. Coming back to the ecosystem, you mentioned that it exists some governmental co-working spaces. Am I right?
Yeah, there are some kind of like, I don't.
It's just a curious question. So if it exists or not, my question was, if you could maybe a bit describe startup ecosystem in general in China. I believe it's huge, but I have heard that there are some centers in China. I mean, startup centers. What are these actually? These cities, and if they have some specialization, some focus on some specific areas, fintech, I don't know, medtech, or whatever. If you can also mention it.
Yeah, I know that government is really building a lot of these centers. Like, it's not co-working; it's like innovation centers in different cities. And actually, we have 2 offices: one in Shanghai, one in Sanya. And then Sanya government, they, after Chinaccelerator, they offered us, the governor of Hainan, he wanted us to help to develop the event side of the whole island, and they offered us to come to Sanya, and they provided us like with the office, and that office were only startups, and we pay very like funny money. Let's say we pay like a 300 RMB per year per one person to have the like a hot table, so it's very cheap. Yeah. And yeah, so they support us, and also like in Sanya, because they want to have more tech company. If you're a tech company, they will pay you around 50% of your taxes back after the year that you've been there. So you're paying the seller tax, other taxes, and then the next year they will like transfer, like reimburse some of the money back to you. In Shanghai, we're not enjoying that kind of perks, but this is why you need to be careful with what city to choose, because you know, in Shanghai the competition is huge. In Shanghai, we just one of the companies, and you have like maybe from top 500 companies in the world, you have like maybe a lot of other companies here, and you need to compete with the top like super high-tech companies. But if you go to some, I don't know, Sanya or small like second, third tier cities, and you're a foreigner, then they will know about you, and they will be giving you different perks for you to stay in this city. They want you to pay taxes in this city and to hire local talents so they can get like some experience from you. And this is why I suggest, like I recommend not to think only about Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen or Guangzhou. Like think about other cities. Maybe it will be better. But
yeah,
there are centers. Yeah, they have a lot of.
I also wanted maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but
What startup centers can you name us in China, if you know the specific focus? I know Beijing, so I know Shanghai as startup centers.
Yeah, so
I guess Shanghai focus on fintech mostly. Yes.
the biggest one like is it's in Beijing. I forget actually the name of this street. There is like a even street of all of the headquarters of these companies there, like Baidu, then what is that, like Xiaomi, all that, and then like they generating that kind of startups around them. Then you of course have Shanghai, which is historically expat-oriented city, and you have a lot of foreigners here. Then we should think, of course, about Shenzhen, because Shenzhen is like a hardware capital of China. And then if you're in hardware, if you build in any robots or if you build in some gadgets, I think Shenzhen is your choice. Or maybe you need to go to south part of China, like Guangdong, and you're close to Hong Kong, you're close to Shenzhen, and like for SOSV, they have Hacks Accelerator, and if anybody needs me to help you to pitch to Hacks, feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, and they help and they bring in the startups, global startup, foreign startups entering China and helping with the network. And of course, and also I think we need to think about Hangzhou. Hangzhou is developing quick because Alibaba from Hangzhou, and it's close to Shanghai, 1 hour by train. And a lot of fintech and other startups are from this city. What I read, I've never been to that city yet, but a lot of companies, especially from the gaming industry, saying that this city is huge, like huge for a lot of opportunities there. Chengdu. So you need to think about Chengdu as well.
Okay, super. Thank you so much. Coming back to your SOSV, yes, accelerator. So you mentioned that it was very valuable for you. So what was conditions, if it's not under NDA? I mean, if they invest some cash into foreign startup, do you need to establish a local entity with Chinese co-founder? If there are some restrictions like that, and how did you manage with the Chinese language?
Yeah, so regarding the Chinese language, my first major was Chinese interpreter, like Chinese linguistics and English linguistics. So it kind of helped, but then I forgot a lot because I was living in Russia, didn't use that. This language is like a muscle. If you stop using this, it's struggling. Then and then one of the things is like no need to think about language too much. The thing is like you need to. So China is the whole universe, and it has its own needs. Maybe if your product solves any problem in your market, maybe China just doesn't need it. Maybe China doesn't have these needs, or maybe China already has other competitors or other companies that's solving this. And you need to think if you really can compete with them. First of all, if you have enough money to compete with them, or maybe you have some unique USP, unique sales point, right? That they will be using your product. So, and then if you find that and you think, yes, I found that something I created that the Chinese need, then maybe you need to like hire local staff, or maybe find some partners here who know the market, who know that. And when we started here, our office, like we had a lot of foreigners here. Like the first team was like maybe 7 foreigners, 2 Chinese. But then we asked ourselves, what do we want to do? We want to develop here locally, or we want to have just a good company with foreigners and etc. And we said no, we want to develop. And this is why we understood that maybe it's better to have foreigners that will help you to develop here, or maybe it will be managers, but sales, marketing, account management is better to give to the local people, and they can speak English. I was surprised how many people always think that Chinese don't speak English, but actually I think Chinese speak English, and a lot of them, if you will look at the percentage of how many people speak and how many of them here, especially in Shanghai. Yeah, we even hear like because right now it's 6:30 and my staff are leaving. We even have one person speaking Russian. So we have English speaking, Spanish speaking, Russian speaking, Chinese in our office, in our team here.
That's great. That's great. Cool.
Yeah, and sorry,
so
I forgot the first question. I remember you asked three.
Did SOSV invested into you when you entered the incubational program, or so it was like mentorship and some legal advices?
No, they invest, and right now, so the main thing, like what you need to have, it's like you need to you need to have the desire to enter Chinese market. That's the first thing. Secondly, you need to have traction for this accelerator, and then you need to have like a potential that like they need to see that you really can bring some values for the local users, for the local your potential users, and they invest. I don't know about right now. There is something maybe $130K, like $130K they invest. And the percentage is usually discussed with each company separately, but it's around 100K more right now. They invest in the company.
Okay, so we have, I think, last 3-4 minutes. Can you tell maybe if you can name 3 points which was for you as an entrepreneur the most unexpected when you started to make business on Chinese market?
Interesting. The first thing is like you need to think about the culture. A lot of people, I tell them, learn about Chinese culture, and they think, yeah, each country has its culture. What are you saying? No, really, China is a little bit different. And like, I mean, we had some situations where I was very mad, and I yelled at one of my colleagues in front of others, and then the next day she like giving me the resigning letter. I was like, what happened? I even forgot about that. And she's like, you ruined my face in front of other colleagues. I can't work in this company anymore. And I was surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was shocked. I mean, like, really? Oh, sorry. So no need. Sorry. And then don't make my mistakes. And learn about culture. They have their things. And also, what else? I when I was going to China, I knew that it's digital country. I knew that they let's say, yeah, like digital online country. But I wasn't expected that they that far away from the whole world. And the way how like the way how huge is the WeChat penetration is in everywhere, and like it's digital, like say WeChat Pays, Alipay, all that things. It was even huge 5 years ago. Right now, it's on another level. And then the third thing, you need to like. It's okay to compete all the time. I think I think it's in the Chinese blood. There are over 1 billion people, and since they they are born, they've been told that you need to like be the best, you need to compete, and you see like a lot of people, and you need to like take your place and then it's okay, and don't need to be mad. You just if somebody is competing with you, you just need to find your USP, as I mentioned, and develop and be better, and then this environment pushes you to be better all the time, because you always have somebody to compete with. Because as an example, in our model ExpoPromoter, we have the trade shows from one side, then we have us, and then we have partners who distribute tickets. And when we enter with this model, those partners that used to start with us 3 years ago, I mean, like when we started doing local promotion, they're right now our main competitors, and we're okay with that. We even, let's say, we born our own competitors. There was no model like that. They just been helping us promoting trade shows, distributing tickets, and right now they're competing with us. And it's okay. I mean, like nobody is calling like, why you betrayed me? No, actually, you're finding way of cooperation, and you trying to cooperate, not to be mad or something like that. That's maybe 3 points.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have 2 last minutes, and we have 1 last question. According to some statistics, China has the most tech unicorns after 2012, which probably proves to be a friendly market for startups. What do you think is the secret sauce? What is the reason for such success? But very short answer, please.
Yeah, I think like they have huge local market, and especially if we see right now AI startups and they are like booming, right? They have a lot of data locally, and then they can train the models on that data. If we look at TikTok, first they had Douyin, the first version Douyin for locals, and they trained this model on how to create how to give that content, like the content that you don't want to stop watching. So you will be spending more and more time in Douyin. And then when they had that almost perfect, let's say, algorithm, they started overseas like expanding. They started expanding into the overseas markets, and then we see right now they actually successful, and it's very, I think, hard to repeat them. As for repeating TikTok, you need to have around 1 billion users or something like that. I don't know, actually they announced maybe 400 million, but still it's huge. I mean, like if you start in small countries, like you will have to cover the whole maybe Europe to get that much data as they had here. And also I think there is not that much, like they don't sorry, is it time already? No?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to switch to another speech, to another conference. Yeah, I think that internal market is a crucial thing for China, for Chinese startups to succeed, and also maybe governmental support. But yeah, the market is a core. So I'd like to thank you, Simon, for sharing your insights. I believe it was very, very interesting and useful for our attendees. I wish you all the best with your project, and I hope that we will see you as a unicorn in a couple of years.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good luck, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Keep safe. Bye.